Now, the rest of the story.
Well, I'm not going to try to get you guys sick of hay updates, but this is whatever day it is that I got done spraying the radiate. Was okay. Today is what, Friday, so I got done. I did the bottom here on Monday, so it's been about 5 days, and like I've said before, it's bottom ground. It'll never be row crops, but you don't have to get down very far from the surface to find moisture, and this is a very, very, very well established stand of grass, largely reed canary. So with the roots that it has, and knowing that it has moisture, and the fact that it's been fed well and then sprayed with the radiate, I did go through, and a bunch of the weeds are already drooping over. So I guess you could say for third cut I am going for quality. I mean, I would most certainly take quantity over quality. That's just kind of how it works in this area, but you can see the very clear line from the crop ground to the bottom ground. That was a low-lying wet area, which, to be quite honest, I don't know how much of it is just because it was a low-lying wet area, or if it's just gone so many years without being managed. It does have a low spot right there where it's a little dip. There's a little one right there. Other than that, I was really surprised by the fact that I could farm right through it. Yes, it's a drier year. No, it is not a drought year for us. They actually have about 4 or 5 days in the next week and a half of rain they're calling for. That's actually why I'm down here. I shut the shed because I didn't want any of my hay that is stored inside to get rained on. So plenty of airflow, but the temperatures from the hay sweating are backing off. They were in the lower 90s. We're currently in the upper 70s as far as the bale temps, but you can see where I've been doing the tram lines. Work's actually pretty slick. If I'm gonna have yield loss from my row tracks, I'd rather just keep it to one part of the field rather than make a whole new set of tracks. We can thank Ag Leader for that, because Andrew got us set up for the auto track guidance, and then with the monitor, the Ag Leader monitor, and the controllers, it allows me to spray what needs to be sprayed, but not spraying any more than I need to if I was doing a manual setup. You'd see a lot more areas that were probably lacking nitrogen or kind of yellow because, you know, they don't look that great. But you can see that I ran my lines clear up out of the bottom up into the field headlands, because usually when I make the field, my headlands are right through here, and they've actually kind of gradually worked their way down the hill. The foxtail irritates me. It's here. I can't do much about it unless I terminate the whole field. It's a late season issue. I mean, the first cutting didn't have it, and I'm hoping, not trying to swear here, we get into next year that maybe I can push a little bit harder, the ground I mean, and try to get all this made in 3 cuttings. I don't know if this is just going to be a one-off thing as far as I did it this year. It'll never happen again. But for this stuff being cut, it's about 3 weeks coming up on Sunday since it's been made, and it doesn't actually look too bad. I mean, it's late summer. It's got that nice deep green look to it. I mean, it's really pretty down here. You give this another 30 days, because today is the 20th, I believe, of August. I really wasn't planning on making this until about the 20th of September, I mean the 3rd week of September. Weather permitting, allowing, if it's the last week of September, so be it, but we start getting into frost that late. And when you get too late, I don't want to take the stuff off and have it get frosted. And I mean, grass is grass, it's resilient to everything, but I don't want to really risk dinging this stuff if I can help it. Grandpa always told us for alfalfa it was September 15th. He never wanted to cut anything after that, because that gives the plant a chance to build up nutrients in the plant itself to make it through the winter. Because if you take it off ground level and then go through and have a frost, say the next day, you're probably gonna have a lot of winter kill. Grass, I mean, a lot more resilient, but for this being 3 weeks, I mean, the stems really don't amount to much after the first cutting. You get a lot more of the leaves through it, and I'm kind of hearing more and more that even in this area, feed availability is potentially going to be a thing going into fall, into winter. And I'm just moving what I have to here lately, just because storage is an issue. But second and third cutting could actually be, I would say that they're a higher quality feed, especially even for me, because I'm usually not going for high quality. But if we got a chance to make it, we will. I don't know, 6-8 inches worth of growth. Give it another 30 days with the rain that's coming. The field ground's definitely showing some tougher spots that it's running out of moisture, so we'll see if that makes anything. It's over 100 acres down here, give or take, and if I can see 150 to 200 bales across all this again, I'd be happy. We did 2/3 of the farm and we got over 200 for second cut. So if we do second cut off of the bench plus the rest of everything else that's down here, we probably hit over 200 again, which is what we got off of here just a few days ago, or 2 weeks ago, on second cut off this stuff. So we'll see. I mean, I really don't get too excited looking at the row crops anymore, just because you set yourself up for disappointment way too easily because you cherry pick. I mean, I just talked to the guy yesterday. I don't want to get too close to the truck because I'll wake Relina back up. It's daddy daycare today. The problem with doing yield counts like throughout the season, throughout the summer, to get an idea about what your yields are going to be this fall, the problem is it's hard not to cherry pick, and then you set yourself up for disappointment thinking that the whole field's going to run 200, 220, and it ends up coming in 10, 20, 30 bushels less than that. So I pretty much have just gotten to the point in my life where, actually, like Dad says, hope for the best, deal with the rest. I think that's pretty much where we're at right now. The only reason that the hay, the grass, is getting as much attention as it is because you're basically taking it back to zero with every cutting, and you're watching it grow for a fresh start every single time. And I've actually managed the row crops a lot, but at the same time, as far as the grass goes down here, I feel like I've actually been managing this more than the row crops, which is kind of unheard of, at least for us, as far as worrying about hay as much as I am. I do know a lot of this stuff. I mean, basically all the third cutting off of the bottom, I'll unpack the shed and I'll stack the third cutting in there if that's what it takes. But like the rest of the farm, I do know that stuff's gonna be sitting outside. It's getting 4 wraps of hay, but it still gets weathered on the face, and it doesn't help your bottom line when you're going to sell it. But that'll also be the first stuff that I start moving when I get into selling the stuff late fall. So with that, I gotta keep moving. I'll try not to do any more hay update videos, at least for a day or two. Give you guys a little bit of a break. Talk to you later. Bye.